you guys agreed to do the lip syncing, but it was only just to pay back the money that you owed.
Yeah.
You guys didn't say, okay, we're going to be a lip syncing group.
No. It was like, let's do this and let's get out of there. But then it went crazy.
Okay, so Girl You Know Is True was one of the songs, but there was a bunch of other songs.
That came later.
Okay, but
But
Girl
what
You
hap-
Know Is True was just, so that got released as a single first?
That was the first, yeah, it was, no, that's what he said. He said, hey, what'd you do? No, we signed a contract. We didn't even know. I remember, I told you, no manager, no attorney.
Okay.
So we signed his contract. That was pretty thick, but we never looked inside. We were signed for 3 albums. At this point, we don't know the industry. We're like totally
Right.
naive, but we trust the guy.
And you guys are, I mean, to be fair, coming from where you guys are coming from with no hit records, no experience, you didn't really have a bargaining chip here.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, you probably signed a bad contract, but at the time, people also have to understand about the music industry is that 90% of the projects a label puts out ends up losing money. And 10% ends up making money, which is why a record label is almost required to have contracts that may not be great for the people that do make money. Because in general, they do lose money.
Yes, generally. Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
90%, it's one of the worst businesses to be in. You're better off with a lottery ticket than a
And now,
than a record
and
label.
now you got 360 now.
No, so it's even worse.
That's another story.
Exactly.
But,
So, okay, so you guys agreed to do Girl You Know Is True
Yeah.
as a single. Now, even though the single came out in Germany under new marks, I guess it didn't really go anywhere, so they're able to essentially put it back out
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
more major level.
That's right. BMG at the time.
BMG, okay.
Yeah, machine,
You had the machine behind
muscle.
you. So you go and put out Girl You Know Is True. Now, were you performing it in Germany?
No, what we did we needed to do a video. So we went to a local TV station and recorded something, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere, but we did that thing, and that thing in that part of Germany lit up. And that's when Frank was like, yo, we got to do a real video. We're going to spend some money now. We're going to do it for real. And we were like, whoa. So, we got a taste.
With the fame.
You know when you get a taste?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah, first time. Suddenly, people say your name. The amount of girls the traffic is getting bigger. You can enter any clubs. You're at the hotel, you dial 2 numbers, the food comes up, wow. You can mess up your room, have a party, open your fridge. Oh, it's not enough. No, okay, let's call front desk. They fill it up. I mean, that's the life.
Yeah.
So you go from having nothing to be this guy, this dude that's like on television. You're loved by everyone. You're like the mayor. Everywhere you go, people want to shake your hand. They want to be with you. They want to hang out with you. It's heaven, so you taste that thing, and then it's time for single number 2.
And that is?
That is Baby Don't Forget My Number.
Okay.
So when Baby Don't Forget My Number comes around, we're like, yo, we want to, in our mind, naive, like, no, we got to do this now. He looks at us like, we can't, man. We can't change the voices. And we're like, oh.
Oh, so you guys wanted to actually do the vocals moving forward.
Yeah. We were stopped at the beginning, but then second, we're like, yo, and we told him, we want to do that. Oh, yeah, they brush it up, of course. Yeah, of course. Okay, cool. So in our mind, it made, okay, we do this, and then, but I was totally delusional. But in our mind, hoping and wanting to just to have the full package. Live your dream fully.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just living like part of the dream. But we loved performing so much. And we did a tour in America, like a 107-city tour in 8 months.
So, Girl You Know Is True blows up in Germany.
Yeah.
All over Europe or just Germany?
No, it blows up in Germany, and then it spreads out, slowly but surely to each territories, Holland, Spain, Italy. Yeah. And that's when we rose to the top of the European charts, then it started crossing over to America.
So that's before the second single?
No, first single.
First single, yeah. So So Girl You Know Is True is starting to get played in America as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then the second single is getting ready to come out, and Frank tells you once again you're not going to perform on it.
Yes.
Did they try to play around with your vocals at all, or
No, man.
No, he just
They
said
weren't
forget
even
it.
trying to hear that at all.
Okay.
Like, dude had this very strict plan.
And he had his group of older American musicians. Some of them were kind of heavy set, not exactly photogenic, but they had the chops to do what they needed to do.
They had the chops, and those guys were cool looking, but to Frank's plan,
Yeah.
it was not fitting the bill.
Okay.
Those guys were going to be in the front, and those guys were going to be in the back.
So then the second single, once again, you guys aren't on it, but you're loving the ride so far.
We're loving the ride.
So you can't get off the ride.
You cannot have. You can't. At this point, you've been seduced.
Okay.
You've been seduced by that thing, that life.
Yeah.
It's that life, and it feels good to be there. You travel the world, but after every show, you come back to your room. After people leave the room, after the party, there's an after party, after party, after party. And at the end, when everybody's gone, it's you. You alone. And that's when reality sets in. And it's ugly.
Well, the second single comes out.
Yes.
In Europe again, or?
Oh, then I think it went boom. Then it went world.
Okay, well, because the deal with Arista, did that come after the first single?
Everything was worked. I believe that while Milli Vanilli was rising in Europe, talks were already taking place.
Right.
Because they could tell, we're going to the top of the charts in Europe. The logical way is to go to the other side.
Right, because you guys are singing in English, even
That's
though
right.
You're technically a German group.
Exactly, and London was popping. Mm-hmm. So when London's popping, then automatically it's New York.
Yeah.
For the DJ, the cycle.
Yeah.
Boom, London, New York, and then from New York it starts to pop to the rest of the country, and then every other radio station starts to play it essentially. So when we went on the first time we went to New York, with Girl You Know It's True.
Yeah.
And we were on the radio on the way to New York, leaving the airport. It was like Milli Vanilli on 2 or 3 stations. It was crazy. We were just...
Okay. And you guys had the Arista deal at this point?
Yeah, we did. But all that was worked out
Okay.
ahead of time.
Because you guys didn't actually sign to Arista.
No.
Frank and his production company signed
Yeah,
to
we were
Arista.
signed to a production deal to Frank Farian.
Yeah.
Frank was signed to BMG.
And then he signed to Arista.
To Arista.
Right.
Clive Davis.
Clive Davis, exactly.
Ooh.
So, even though you guys aren't directly signed to Arista, you guys are now Arista artists, and this was at the height of Arista. Wasn't like Whitney Houston at the time?
Yeah, that's right.
On Arista? Like, what other artists were on Arista at the time?
Oh, man, I don't remember, because as a matter of fact, when we came around, you said at the height, but it wasn't. There was a dip.
It was a dip.
Yeah, there was a dip at that moment. So when we came in, we feeling like we blew them up again, but there was a little dip. Whitney it was not. So it was just like a. So we came in at the right time for them.
Okay. And by that time, because you said the second single had already come out, right?
Yeah.
And how's that single doing compared to Girl You Know It's True?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Doing great.
And you guys put out 4 singles.
Yes.
And the singles are?
Girl You Know It's True, Baby Don't Forget My Number, Blame It on the Rain, Girl I'm Gonna Miss You.
All 4 singles go to number 1. The album comes out and sells 6 million copies? Or more?
I think it was 7.
7 million?
Yeah.
In the US?
In the US.
Internationally, how big does it do?
14 million albums and 33 million singles.
14, so you go diamond on this album, and you go triple diamond on the singles. Not exactly triple diamond, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
33 million singles.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man.
So, if you just do the math, let's say you wholesale albums at $10 each, you guys made like $500 million on just the music sales or so.
Lots of money.
Right, not including all the other money around the tours and the merchandising and whatever else.
Yeah.
So you guys are money machines at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, at this point, at the height of it all, describe to me what's going on with you guys.
Ooh, we're totally dysfunctional, man. We're like, in order to forget the pressure that we were on, because we were not happy. You see, it seems from the outside like everything is hunky-dory, like they're on the road, they're working, the fans are screaming, they're on the radio rotation, they're on MTV, but we wanted to sing. And at first, you know, like I said, we said no, we got a taste, and then we stayed in there. And then 1 single, 2 single, 3 singles, and we're starting to like, and then we were not into alcohol or any drugs, but then in order to cope with the situation and the schedule, you know, we started drinking.
Okay.
And doing drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Coke, pot, and so on and so on and so on. Everything you can name on the board, on the menu, we did. It was just, you know, we need to escape that pressure. It was becoming too difficult. And the fact that we couldn't share the secret. So we had that thing like tucked in, like to the side, and we can't share with nobody. So we hang out with people, but then we have to like, oh, take a step back because we don't want people to find out what's going down.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because Clive Davis is not just a paper music executive. He's actually a musician himself who knows music very deeply.
True that.
He's produced, you know, a lot of music before he became executive.
Long history.
Long history. He's, you know, I know people that have had to audition for Clive Davis in his office. Like, he is a music guy. This is the guy behind Whitney Houston.
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin, the list goes
And
on,
so on.
and on
Dionne Warwick.
So,
Yeah.
did you guys actually meet Clive Davis at any point? I've seen pictures of you and Clive Davis.
No,
so
no,
obviously
we met.
you met.
Obviously, we met, but we met in this famous office that he had at Arista. It was very dim. The light was dim.
Yeah.
And then you came in there, like long desk, pictures of iconic, you know, icon figures. And then he's there with his glasses, you know, and it's like, you know, really calm and just welcome to America. Not really discussing anything, but just welcoming us to the label, and you know, we look forward to us do what we do and see what happens.
Did he know that you guys weren't actually singing on this album? Because this
Yes.
is Clive Davis.
Let me tell
This
you,
is not a
you hear what you
stupid
just said?
man
You
here.
hear what you just said right now? This is Clive Davis. If a pin dropped in the building, he knew
Yeah. So he
who
knew.
dropped it. So, you know, come on.
He knew.
Yeah, man, come on. Yeah, he knew, you know. So I don't know the details behind that, you see. That's one of the things that's been kept really, really, really secret. I don't know how it went about like saying, because they had to disclose that to him.
Right. I mean,
But-
he's the president of Arista Records.
Yeah, so, but I guess he said, hell yeah. let's do it, man. Let's get that paper. You know, we'll see what happens later. Obviously, because when everything went down, well, everybody was gone. The platinum records, on the records were pulled down real quick. I heard, because I
Right.
met I talked to an executive that was over there. He was like, yo, man, when that happened, it was like, clack, clack, clack.